no part-time jobs, no casual jobs on the side, just us traveling and working online.
Amazing. I wanted to ask, what sparked your decision to become full-time travelers?
It's been a slow process, really. So our first trip was to Australia in 2015, and that was the normal backpacking East Coast, parties every day, meeting new people every day. And it wasn't until afterwards we got back from that trip after about almost 2 years where we was working casual jobs again. I was working in the supermarket, Tyler was in retail, and we just said to ourselves, we can't do this anymore. We have to somehow make this like a lifestyle. Like we need to invest in it. We need to put time and energy and effort because we do really enjoy it.
Yeah, and I think, with the Australia trip as well, it was our very first trip. So we'd gone on like few with friends to like Morocco and to Norway, but Australia was our first kind of taste of independence away from
together
family.
As well.
Yeah. We always got the, if you travel, it's going to make or break your relationship kind of stigma. And we were just determined to make sure that would not happen. Yeah, it just opened our eyes up to a world, I think, because you can go on holiday with your family and you can see certain places, but when you go traveling, I feel like your whole body just opens up to a whole new world, and you learn so many life skills that you don't necessarily learn in school from traveling.
It's the life skills, it's the culture you witness, it's the locals you interact with, it's the food you eat,
and it's the mistakes you make as well. Because when you travel, you definitely hit a lot of challenges for sure. Like, especially as a backpacker, we were struggling with money at certain points. Like, one of the things we did, because we refused to come home, was when we were in New Zealand, we set up our own car boot sale in in Taupo because we refused to like be broke and not be able to get any work.
We ravaged the op shops and charity shops, and we upscaled and upsailed the items, and we did that for a month or so. It got by.
We made a couple $100, which is actually really cool.
Wow, amazing. I like that. So you touched on it there about how you quit your jobs in retail to become full-time travelers. How long did you have to consider that before you actually made the leap?
I mean, it was always an ongoing thought. It was just figuring out how we did it. So we'd go through stints of obviously saving up like a chunk of cash and then making it last as long as possible. And we did that 2 or 3 times before we decided to work more online and fully invest. Like it was,
I think it was like 2 years, maybe like 2 years on and off traveling, like, because it's a scary thing to completely just invest in yourself and take it on the road, and not necessarily like there's times where we saved up so much money and we were like, right, this is it now, we're going to be on the road forever, it's going to be amazing, and then
it dwindled.
And then you're like, oh shit, where's our bank account going?
But it was, like I said, it was always an ongoing thought, and it wasn't until probably last year, about 12 months ago, we fully committed to no part-time jobs, no casual jobs on the side, just us traveling and working online.
Yeah.
Amazing. And you're absolutely smashing it.
We're trying.
So I want to ask, because obviously you can go anywhere you like now. You've made this decision that you're just full-time travelers. How do you actually decide and plan where you go?
Oh, so this is where compromising comes in as a big factor.
Because obviously we're individuals, we have our own bucket list, but we are ticking off our joint one at the moment, aren't we?
Yeah, for sure.
Currently together, we compromise and we're ticking off what we want to see together before we start, diverting and doing our own thing.
Yeah, so Luke and I are very different people in terms of travel. Like, I'm more tropical, beaches, chill with friends, lots of yoga and surf, whereas Luke's more like hardcore terrain, adventuring.
I could be hiding out for a good few weeks without any interaction.
Definitely not my goal.
But like, we are different people, but we do enjoy both of the adventures kind of thing. And we just sit down, we just speak to each other like, what do we want to get accomplished this year? And we put in bits of each other's kind of interests. And
we have a Pinterest board that we keep where it's like we put all the places in where we feel like we want to go and visit or check out. And every month we kind of sit down and talk about, okay, so depending on the season and depending on the month, like where can we go next? And we usually like to follow the sun, but we've definitely gotten way more into winter trips lately. So we're trying to do a bit of both at the moment. But yeah, Pinterest board is the way forward, I think.